I'm a corporate lawyer, I said. Real estate law is my specialty, actually. Aunt Linda blinked twice. Oh. I didn't know. She hurried off before I could add anything else. Tyler had rounded up a small crowd by the railing, gesturing toward the shoreline. The lot goes all the way to those boulders. We're talking 3/4 of an acre of pure oceanfront. His buddy Marcus whistled. What's something like this worth these days? Appraisal just came in at $2.3 million, Tyler bragged. Dad cut me an insane deal at $400,000. I almost spat out my iced tea. Uncle Greg had just sold property he no longer owned for $400,000, pocketed $50,000 up front, and was planning to collect the rest. This wasn't a white lie. This was felony-level fraud. Robert texted again, money changed hands equals felony fraud. You have to move on this. I stood up and walked over to Uncle Greg while he grabbed another beer. Uncle Greg, can we talk? Alone. He looked irritated but nodded. Sure, Mara. What's on your mind? We headed down the steps to the sand, far enough that the ocean drowned out our voices. This seaside cottage, I began, keeping my tone even. You just sold it to Tyler. That's right. High time someone younger took responsibility. Uncle Greg, when exactly did you purchase this cottage? He frowned. 2005. I've told everyone that 100 times. And you've owned it without interruption ever since? Of course. What is this, 20 questions? I opened the county records on my phone. Funny thing, the county says you sold this property in 2019. To me. His face went pale. 6 years ago, I continued. You called me in a panic. You were drowning in debt. Bad business deals, loans you couldn't repay. The bank was about to foreclose. You begged me to bail you out. Uncle Greg's bottle slipped in his sweaty grip. I bought it, I said. Paid off the mortgage, cleared every lien, took title free and clear for $1.6 million. You asked me not to tell the family. Said you were embarrassed, needed to keep your pride. So I let you keep using the place and pretend it was still yours. Mara, listen, I've been paying the property taxes for 5 years, I kept going. Homeowner's insurance, every repair bill. New roof last year? $35,000. New air conditioning unit? $12,000. The dock repairs Tyler wants to redo? I had them done last spring for $8,000. Uncle Greg was sweating bullets now, and the sun had nothing to do with it. You just sold Tyler a cottage you don't own, I said. You took $50,000 for property that belongs to me. That's not a family mix-up, Uncle Greg. That's fraud. I was going to tell you, he stuttered. I was going to figure something out. Really? Because it looks like you plan to pocket $400,000, disappear with the cash, and leave me holding the bag. It's still family property, he tried. No, I corrected. It's my property. No trust, no co-ownership. Just a deed that says Mara Elizabeth Miller, sole owner. Uncle Greg glanced back at the porch where Tyler was still celebrating. What are you going to do? That depends. Are you giving Tyler his $50,000 back? Silence. Uncle Greg, did you already spend it? More silence, answer enough. I pulled up Robert's contact. I'm making a call. You should probably call a lawyer. Wait, he grabbed my wrist. Please. If this gets out, I'm finished. Tyler will never forgive me. The whole family will know I lost everything. You didn't just lie, I said, pulling free. You committed a crime. You sold property you don't own and pocketed money under false pretenses. That's a felony. I'll pay Tyler back, he begged. Just give me time. With what money? You blew through his down payment already. You don't have the cottage to sell, and you're obviously still broke, or you wouldn't have tried this. Uncle Greg's face collapsed. I needed the cash. The debts are crushing me, Mara. So you fixed it by committing fraud? He had nothing left to say. Here's how this goes, I stated. You're going to tell Tyler the truth. Right now. You're going to repay his $50,000 within 30 days. And you're going to announce in front of everyone that this cottage belongs to me. I can't, or I call the police and the DA. You get charged with wire fraud and theft. Tyler loses his money. You might go to prison. Your call. Uncle Greg's hands shook like leaves. The family will hate me. They'll hate you more when Tyler learns 6 months from now that his deed is worthless, I shot back. At least this way you control the story. I started back toward the porch. Uncle Greg followed like a ghost, climbing the steps slowly, face gray. He clinked his bottle against the rail again. Everybody, can I have your attention? His voice cracked. The crowd turned, expecting another cheerful toast. I need to correct something, Uncle Greg said, watching Tyler's smile disappear. About the cottage sale. There's been a huge mistake. What kind of mistake? Tyler asked, uneasy. Uncle Greg glanced at me, then back at his son. I don't actually own this cottage. I haven't owned it since 2019. You could hear the waves and nothing else. What are you talking about? Aunt Linda stood up. You bought this place in 2005. I did, Uncle Greg admitted. But I sold it. 6 years ago. To Mara. Every head swiveled toward me. That's not funny, Dad, Tyler said, voice trembling. It's not a joke. Uncle Greg fumbled with his phone, hands shaking. In 2019 I was in financial ruin. The bank was taking the cottage. Mara bought it. She's been the legal owner for 5 years. Tyler stared at me. You own this place? Yes, I said simply. The place I just handed Dad 50 grand for? Exactly that one. Jennifer turned sheet white. But we signed contracts yesterday. You signed contracts Greg wrote up, I explained, holding up the official county deed on.
Like, subscribe, and smash that bell before it smashes you. Stay with Reddit Tales Times for chilling twists, haunting tales, and daily doses of the disturbing. You've been warned.
My screen. He can't transfer title he doesn't have. This is the real recorded deed from 2019. My name. My ownership. Aunt Linda dropped back into her chair. Greg, what have you done? I thought I could fix it, Uncle Greg's voice broke. Make enough to buy it back from Mara, make the sale real. I just needed a little more time. You took my money. Tyler shouted. You stole $50,000 for a house you don't own. I'll pay you back, Uncle Greg pleaded. Give me 30 days. 30 days. Tyler was screaming now. You committed fraud. You scammed your own son. The porch exploded into chaos, shouting, accusations, disbelief. Maya touched my arm. Time to go? Yeah. We grabbed our bags while the fight raged on. At the bottom of the steps, Tyler caught up. Did you know? He demanded. When Dad announced it, did you know he was lying? I found out 2 days ago, I said. When he posted about the sale in the group chat. And you didn't say anything? I wanted to see if he'd come clean on his own, I admitted. Part of me hoped he'd back out. He didn't. Tyler's anger melted into something shattered. What happens now? He returns your $50,000 in 30 days, I said. Or I file charges. And the cottage? It's mine. I bought it fair and square. I've paid every bill, kept it running for 5 years. His fraud doesn't change my title. Can we still use it? For family events? That depends. Will you respect that it's my house? Stop planning renovations without asking me? He nodded, defeated. Then yes. The family can still come. Under my rules, with my permission. But the days of pretending Uncle Greg owns it are finished. We left Tyler standing in the sand while the argument thundered above. As we drove off, I could see Uncle Greg surrounded by furious relatives, his secret finally dragged into the light. Maya was quiet for a minute before asking, "Think he'll actually pay the money back?" "I doubt it," I said. "Which means I'll be filing a police report in a month. The family's going to blame you." "Let them," I replied. "I bought this cottage legally. I saved it from foreclosure. I kept it up for 5 years while Uncle Greg played pretend. I'm done covering for him." My phone rang. Robert Chin. "I just watched the family group chat implode," he said. "Truth's out. Uncle Greg confessed. Tyler wants his money." "Good. Get the paperwork ready. If the 50 grand isn't back in 30 days, we file fraud charges that day." "Copy that. For what it's worth, you played this perfectly. Most people wouldn't have waited that long after being ripped off." 3 weeks later Uncle Greg called. "Mara, I need more time. I can't come up with 50,000 in 30 days. "That's a shame," I said. "Please, I'm begging you. Don't press charges. You already lost everything 6 years ago," I reminded him. "I bought the cottage. The only thing you're losing now is the fantasy you've been living." On day 31, no money appeared. I filed the police report. The district attorney picked up the case within a week. Uncle Greg was charged with wire fraud and theft by deception. Both felonies. The family split down the middle. Some blamed Greg for the scam. Others blamed me for involving the law. A handful of relatives cut me off completely. Tyler eventually recovered his money through court-ordered restitution that will take Greg years to finish paying. The seaside cottage stayed mine. Legally, financially, 100% mine. I replaced the locks. Changed the security code. Hung a small sign by the front door, "Miller Seaside Cottage, private property." Some family members still visit. The ones who get it, who know I protected what I legally bought. Maya comes every summer. A few cousins who never pointed fingers. But the huge family cookouts stopped. The gatherings where everyone acted like they owned the place. The parties where they dreamed up renovations for a house that wasn't theirs. Uncle Greg served 18 months in a low-security facility. He got out last spring. Lives in a tiny apartment now. Picks up odd jobs to chip away at restitution. We haven't spoken since the trial. Tyler finally forgave me, realizing I'd been scammed too, just over a longer period and for a lot more money. "I still can't believe he thought he'd pull it off," Tyler said during a visit last summer. "He pulled it off for 5 years, I answered, because I kept quiet to save his pride. The minute he tried to cash in on that quiet, it was over." We sat on my porch watching the tide roll in. The same view my grandfather fell in love with. The same cottage Uncle Greg almost lost to the bank. The cottage I rescued, owned, and finally claimed out loud. "Do you regret filing charges?" Tyler asked. I thought about it. "No. He stole from you. And he did it while I was covering his taxes and repairs. I regret waiting so long to stop shielding him. The deed sits in my safety deposit box, clean and unbreakable. Uncle Greg sold a house he didn't own. I prosecuted a fraud that had to see daylight. And the seaside cottage stays exactly where it belongs, under my name, backed by law, guarded by truth. The paperwork proves it." The annual family cookout was buzzing with energy when Uncle Greg climbed onto the porch of the seaside cottage, clinking his beer bottle against the wooden rail to quiet everyone down. About 30 relatives paused mid-bite of their cheeseburgers and coleslaw to give him their attention. My cousin Tyler stood right next to him, beaming like he'd just hit the jackpot. I was parked at the picnic bench with my little sister Maya, staring out at the waves smashing into the sand. The August heat poured down on the worn-out porch where I'd spent every summer of my childhood. "I've got news," Uncle Greg declared, his voice rising above the roar of the ocean. As everybody knows, this seaside cottage has belonged to the family for 2 full decades. I picked it up in 2005, and it's been our favorite spot ever since. Aunt Linda grinned from her lawn chair, rubbing more sunscreen across her cheeks. Cousin Tyler's wife Jennifer gripped his arm, practically vibrating with joy. "Well," Uncle Greg went on, "I've decided it's time to hand this place over to the next generation. Tyler has always adored it here, and he's finally in a position to look after it the right way. So I'm selling the cottage to him." Cheers broke out. Tyler threw his arms around his dad. Jennifer was already tearing up with happiness. A bunch of relatives lifted their drinks in celebration. "We signed everything yesterday," Uncle Greg announced with pride. Tyler put down 50 grand. "We'll wrap up the paperwork next month, but starting today, this cottage is officially my son's." Louder cheers. Tyler whipped out his phone, snapping pictures of his new house for Instagram. Jennifer was on FaceTime with her friends, panning the camera across the ocean view. Uncle Greg raised his bottle high. "To Tyler, the brand new owner of the Miller family seaside cottage. May he make just as many memories here as we all have." "To Tyler," everyone shouted back. I took a slow sip of my iced tea and kept quiet. Maya leaned in close and whispered, "Aren't you going to say something?" "Not yet," I whispered back. Tyler had launched into his own little speech. "Thanks, Dad. This place is everything to me. Jennifer and I can't wait to spruce it up. Fresh porch, modern kitchen, maybe an extra bathroom. We want it to be perfect for family get-togethers. We're thinking of throwing our anniversary bash here in October," Jennifer chimed in. "A huge party to christen our new home." Uncle Greg glowed. "It's in great hands. I know Tyler will take excellent care of it." My phone vibrated. A message from my real estate lawyer, Robert Chin. "Saw your note about the cottage drama. Want me to step in? This is straight-up fraud." I typed back, "Hold off. Let's watch how far they take it." Tyler was now deep in conversation with his brother Kyle about upgrades. "We'll have to repaint the whole outside. Maybe switch up the color palette. This washed-out teal is so last decade." "The porch needs replacing anyway," Kyle agreed. "You could use composite decking, zero upkeep." Uncle Greg nodded at every idea, playing the proud dad handing down a treasure. I opened my phone and pulled up my documents. The official deed was right there in my cloud drive, exactly where it had lived for the past 5 years. Recorded with the county, title insurance paid in full, property taxes up to date. Everything in my name, Mara Elizabeth Miller. Maya peeked at the screen and hid a grin. "This is going to be epic." Aunt Linda wandered over with a plate of brownies. "Mara, sweetheart, isn't it wonderful that Tyler's taking over the cottage?" "It's definitely something," I answered carefully. "I know you love it here too," she said, patting my hand. "But Tyler has a wife and kids now, and you're still busy with your job. You get why Greg picked him, don't you?" "What job do you think I have?" I asked. "Well, you do something with computers, right? Tech stuff. Tyler's in real estate, so he knows how to handle property."
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned to Reddit Tales Times for your daily dose of drama, laughs, and unbelievable stories.